Okay, this is part 2 of the first lesson of chapter 7, and we're going to be going over probability. Okay, on page 465, you'll notice that it talks about theoretical probability. And it says probability is the chance something will happen. And you're going to compare, so it's a comparison, it's a ratio, the chance of what you want to the chance of everything that could happen. Okay? So if you look at this example, it's usually written in fraction form. And the chance that you get heads when flipping a coin. So when we think about flipping a coin, what is the thing you want? You want to get heads. How many heads are on a coin? 1. Okay? Then you need to look at the chance of all outcomes. When you flip a coin, what are the possible outcomes that you have? You can get heads or you can get tails. So essentially then there are 2 outcomes. Therefore, if you're flipping a coin, the probability, which is usually written as a big P and then maybe the word heads because you want to get heads when you flip the coin, is a 1 in 2 chance, or a 1/2 chance. If you look at example 4, which is on page 466, rolling the dice is always another fun example or activity to do when we're talking about probability, as well as looking at a deck of cards. Okay, so if you think about a 6-sided die, and you think about rolling the dice, if you think about a die, the possibilities you have when you roll are a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. Okay? And example 4 talks about the probability of rolling a 2. But when you look at these outcomes, possibilities on the die, how many 2s are there? There's only 1. So 1, 2. That's our outcome we want. But how many all outcomes, how many total outcomes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. So the chance, the probability of rolling a 2 is a 1 in 6 chance. If you look at the possibility of rolling a 7, what is the probability that I'm going to roll a 7? Well, how many 7s are there? 0 out of how many possibilities? 6, which is the same as 0. It's never going to happen. When you think about probability, the closer it is, it really goes on a scale of 0 to 1. When it's 0, it won't happen. And if it's a 1, it's certainly going to happen. And depending where the fraction falls between 0 and 1 depends where it is, if it's closer, more likely to happen, or less likely to happen. That's probability. Okay, so if we move down to your turn 4, we're going to talk about a deck of cards. And a deck of cards has 52 cards. And your turn 4 talks about selecting 2 cards from a standard deck of cards. Selecting a 2. Well, if you think about this, there's 2 in every suit, right? Maybe there's anything there, I don't know. And so if there's 2 in every suit, there's clubs, there's diamonds, there's spades, clubs, diamonds, spades, and I'm missing one, and I can't think what it is off the top of my head. You're probably yelling at me right now. It'll come to me as soon as I move on. So there's a 2 of clubs, a 2 of diamonds, a 2 of spades, and a 2 of... So there are 4 different 2s out of a total of 52 cards. This is the chance that you're going to get a 2. Now, these are both even, so they can be simplified. For those purposes of the video, I'm not going to do that right now. Let's look at your turn for part B. Suppose 28 males and 30 females put their names in a hat for a drawing. If the winner's name is selected from the hat at random, what is the probability the winner will be a male? Okay, so it's males over the total names. How many males entered their name? There were 28. How many total? Well, there were 28 males and 30 females. So together, I need to add those. There are 58. And then again, you would simplify. Okay? Probability. Unit ratios are a lot like unit rates. It's trying to figure out how much per one. Okay? So we're just going to look at a couple of examples here, and I'm going to show you how to do this. If we look at example 5, well, actually, I probably need to go to the next page for you. Unit ratio, your turn 5. Let's look at example 5. It says, a family has a total debt of $5,865 and a gross annual income of $45,200. What is its debt to income ratio? So we're going to put the debt, which is $5,865 over the income, which is $45,200. And we're going to simplify from there. Okay? Here's what you do. You divide to find the unit rate. So you're going to take 5,865 divided by 45,200. And you're probably thinking, you're going to make me do that. No, remember I said you were going to be able to use a calculator. Okay? So let's look at your turn 5. A family has a total debt of $7,842 and a gross income of $34,240. So a debt to income. Debt 7,842 over, 7,842 over 34,240. 34240. Then you're going to divide that, and I think that you'll find out that it's this, which means the family owes 23 cents for every $1 they make to debt. Okay. Part B, a certain college has a total of 14,280 students and 788 faculty. What is the student to faculty ratio? So let's put up how many students there are. 14,280 over 788. And then you divide, and you would find that there's about 18. Your turn 6 talks about a cyclist riding 20 miles in 48 minutes. What's the cyclist's average rate in miles per minute? So we're going to do miles, which is 20, over minutes, which is 48. Okay? Your turn 7 and 8 are very similar to these. They give, they're asking for what's the better buy, and so you're finding out the cost per unit. That concludes this video. The next video will cover proportions.